The Vancouver Grizzlies, who are now 3-4. Should be an interesting night. Great game ahead, and the return to Minnesota of Doug West for the first time. It was 1 year and 1 day ago today that Doug West was traded to Vancouver for Anthony Peeler, and Doug West will play his former teammates tonight. He was one of the original Minnesota Timberwolves. Hi everybody, I'm Rod Black and welcome to Grizzlies basketball on Sportsnet. If the Grizzlies were being paid on overtime this week, they'd be richer than they already are. They've had 5 overtime frames in successive nights this week and a triple overtime thriller the other night. Al Chrismanson is with me as always. Al, the Grizzlies arguably could be 4-3 right now. They really should have had that game against Boston the other night.
Yeah, I was at that game against Boston. They're up 3 points with 4.5 seconds left. They leave one of the best shooters in the league, and Dana Barros open. Coach Hill wasn't happy at all. Not only that they lost that game, but it even went into overtime.
Sharif Abdur-Rahim and Mike gets another straight start. Mike Bibby and Sam Mack.
Yeah, I really like what Brian Hill's doing here tonight, starting Cherokee here. Last year he started in this building 43 times for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's see what we can get out of Cherokee Parks tonight. And
here's the 5 for the T-Wolves. Kevin Garnett, G-Money as they call him in Minnesota. Joe Smith coming over in the offseason. Dean Garrett also coming back to Minnesota. Stephon Marbury and the former Grizzly Anthony Peeler. Officials tonight in the Target Center: Mike Mathis, Tim Donaghy, and Mike Callahan. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, a different looking T-Wolf team than we saw last year, Al Chrismanson, without Tom Gugliotta, without Cherokee Parks, who's now a Grizzly, and without Terry Porter. But the big key was Tom Gugliotta, who went to Phoenix and signed a huge contract with the Suns.
yes, he did, but in his replace, the Timberwolves have picked up Joe Smith. Not a bad replacement at all. Here's a guy who turned down a 4-year, $40 million contract to stay in Golden State to come and play for Minnesota for $1.75 million. So, you know, it just goes to show you, here's a guy who wasn't happy where he was at, wanted to come to a team that's building like the Minnesota Timberwolves are, a playoff team. Maybe he can be the guy who takes them up to the level of the Houstons, the Utahs, and the Lakers out there.
Joe Smith was that #1 pick in '95, remember, the same draft that produced Kevin Garnett and Bryant Reeves. We'll be talking about that throughout the night. Some interesting comparisons between these two teams and the way that they have developed over the years. In fact, the Grizzlies may be looking right in the mirror at a team like the T-Wolves. Garnett and Tony Massenburg will jump it off. Kevin Garnett gives it back to his battery mate, Stephon Marbury. Marbury coming off a career-high 40-point performance Wednesday night. 40 points, 12 assists, and no turnovers. Doesn't get that one to go, but right there is Joe Smith. First basket of the game. And pressure right away from Marbury on the rookie, Mike Bibby.
Oh, you know, Mike Bibby's going to see this all year this season. Portland picked him up real quick. Boston, of course, pressed him like crazy. You know, they're going to take it at the rookie as soon as they can.
Sam Mack, you know that he'll take it right up and fire it up. Sam Mack with the first basket for the Grizzlies. 2-all. Marbury looking inside for Smith. Garnett underneath. Nice lob pass to Joe Smith. Goes right up and sends it back to Garnett. 20-footer, that's off.
That's exactly, sorry Rod, that's exactly where the Grizzlies want Kevin Garnett to be.
Steal by Marbury off the pass from Bibby. Got it right back. Underneath is Dean Garrett. And that's knocked out of bounds, so the Grizzlies will take over.
Talk a little about Sam Mack, Rod. Here's a guy who's averaging over 20 points in his last 4 games. 16th in the league in scoring right now, between a couple of guys by the name of Duncan and Ewing. That's a quick pick by Stephon Marbury there, I tell you. He's got the quick, so you're going to have to really be careful with him tonight.
Bibby looking for Sharif. Kevin Garnett watching him. Cherokee to Mack again. Second shot. That one is blocked. And Garnett runs the floor, gives it off to Marbury. Back to Kevin Garnett. Oh! That's his 14th slam dunk of the season for those keeping track of dunks.
I tell you, it's a scary thing to see. Well, he's listed as 6'11". Coaches are telling us he's closer to 7'1" now. But to see a guy who's that big and that big of an athlete running the wing. And Stephon Marbury knows where he is. You see the block there. Now look at him come this way. He's going to give it up, run wide, and it's just going up to the rim, and he'll go and get it.
And Flip Saunders liked the flip pass from Marbury to Garnett. Mack, who's thrown it up twice already. There's Sharif, open shot. Will he take it? Shot clock's at 4. He has to. Blocked by Kevin Garnett off the head of Anthony Peeler, and the shot clock expires.
That's what Kevin Garnett does for this team. He's not big, he's not tall, he's long. Fellas call him long. I mean, Sharif, he wasn't within 10 feet of Sharif. Look at that, how far back he is. And he can just close in a hurry and get up and block that shot.
I don't know if the comparisons are fair, but already there are people in Minnesota who are saying he could be the guy who could be the next real superstar like Michael Jordan was in the NBA. And there's Garnett as he lives up. I guess he must have heard what I was talking about.
Well, when you got a 7-footer that can, like I said, can stand out and pop the jump shot down. I mean, that's a tough matchup for anybody. Real interesting, Rod, here. Kevin Garnett guarding Sharif, and down at the other end, they've got Cherokee on Garnett. So we'll see how that works out with the fouls as the game goes on.
Cherokee Parks watched by Smith at this end. Inside to Sharif. Will he kick it back out? No, fade away. It's way off. Massenberg missed the rebound. Tony Massenberg still playing with a bit of a jammed thumb on his right hand. Last week in practice. Marbury in the paint. Oh, that one goes, and it's 8-2 Timberwolves early.
Yeah, Grizzlies made the switch there, and Marbury read it, had a big guy on him, took him right to the basket. That's his game. He wants to get to the hole rather than shoot the jump shot. He can shoot the jump shot, but his game is taking it to the basket.
Massenberg on Garrett. Spinning. Garnett underneath again, and a loose ball foul.
Yeah, Brian Hill's not too happy right now. He's got Sharif standing at the top of the key, not rebounding. You can see what a guy like Kevin Garnett does for you. Already blocked one of Sharif's shots, and the second time Sharif came down here, kind of pump faked in the air, worried about that block.
20-second timeout right away from Brian Hill. Does not want to see this team start to break away from you because they are so dangerous.
Yeah, one thing about the Minnesota Timberwolves, they've won 9 straight here at the Target Center over the years. Last year, you can see here, they beat the Grizzlies 4-zip, you know, and really handled them pretty easily. Vancouver Grizzlies, in fact, have never won in this building, so they're really gonna have to pick it up early and stay in this game.
Wolves have won the last 8 against Vancouver. I remember doing a game, in fact, the first game back in General Motors Place, the opener, it was against the Timberwolves, and the Grizzlies won it in OT. And I remember Kevin Garnett was on the floor that day, and we had talked about, you know, the high schooler, how difficult. You hardly mentioned his name at all that day. Garnett was a non-factor, and even at that time, some people said, well, maybe he made a mistake jumping too early. Right now, he and Sharif Abdur-Rahim would be seniors.
Exactly, and you know, that's a real gamble Minnesota took back then, but boy, did it pay off.
For him, too. $120-some million over 6 years. Cherokee taking it to the basket.
That's what the Grizzlies really needed there, Rod. Somebody to take the ball and take it hard to the basket and show that they're not afraid to take it to the goal. Good move by Cherokee Parks.
4-point Minnesota lead. Bibby on Marbury. Watch him very closely. One of the quickest in the game. Garnett watched by Cherokee. Nice pass into Anthony Peeler, and Peeler pops it in from short range. 10-4. Bibby pushing down. Bibby stopping, and he hits. Mike Bibby hits his first basket of the game. 10-6.
Rod, Minnesota scouted the Grizzlies very well. Vancouver does not do a good job of handling curls. Curl off the low post block. They've run 2 or 3 already. Grizzlies are trailing. Sam Mack's having a hard time staying with AP.
Garnett looking like he wants to go one-on-one. That shot was flat. Massenberg rips it down. Mike Bibby, who has played very well after starting his career when we have a foul, a whistle on the floor, and Kevin Garnett gets the foul. But we talked about Mike Bibby in those opening 2 games of the season, and he struggled. As Flip Saunders isn't happy about the foul on Garnett. Bibby struggled out of the gate, but since that time, he has been really very good.
He's done a lot of good things. He's starting to score from the point guard position. He obviously can push the basketball, and his assist to turnover ratio has been excellent.
The key is confidence. Has he ever gained a lot of it? Sam Mack off the curl. Massenberg inside. Tony with the right hand doesn't go, and Peeler pulls it down with just over 7 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Peeler, nice feed underneath, and Joe Smith rams it home.
Grizzlies a little soft on D right now, Rod. They got to protect that basket. Next time somebody comes through there, they got to put him on his butt. They really got to take care of that basket, play some physical basketball.
Massenberg again. Nice bounce pass there to Sam Mack. Wanted the shot, didn't take it. Parks takes it instead. That's way up. Garnett has the rebound, and you have to wonder, too, if fatigue could be a factor for the Grizzlies. 2 overtime games in successive nights. Parks with the steal. Bibby pushing to Massenberg, off to Sharif. Watch what he does inside. Doesn't go, though. Garrett brings it down, gives it to Garnett. Marbury on the wing. Draws a crowd. Side to Garrett, working on Parks. Joe Smith, rather.
Tell you, Russ, it's a tired-looking Sharif Abdur-Rahim right now, let me tell you.
Well, it could be a tired team. They've had a tough week. Tough start tonight.
The hot ticket offer. Tickets are limited, so please call now.
Yeah, Tom Gugliotta. Not a lot of good things to say about Stephon Marbury, by the way. Thought he was a bit of a ball hog here in Minnesota. Now he's with Jason Kidd, though, who has passed everybody in that building in Phoenix, I think. There's a nice feed from Peeler to Smith, and the T-Wolves have come out running and flying. And the Vancouver Grizzlies are going to have to put a stop to this Al Chris-Manson. They trail by 6 with 6:36 to go on this opening quarter.
Yeah, right now the strategy is for Sharif to play at the top of the key to pull Kevin Garnett away from the basket. But I tell you what, I'd like to see Sharif get down on the block where he's comfortable and take it at Kevin. These are 2 franchise players. Let's go strength at strength, try and get Kevin Garnett in foul trouble.
Garnett inbounding. Here comes Peeler. Inside to Garrett, and that's a travel.
Yeah, very interesting, Rod. Minnesota Timberwolves run what we call screen for the screener on the end. Exact same play that the Grizzlies run, and they still beat them on it.
Dean Garrett coming over from Denver, his second tour of duty with the Timberwolves, with Bobby Jackson in that 3-way trade with the Toronto Raptors and Denver Nuggets. Grizzlies heading to Toronto after this game. They'll play against the Raptors on Sunday, the opening of the new building in Toronto.
Great job there by the Grizzlies, doing just what we talked about. They put Sharif on the block. Kevin Garnett picks up his 2nd foul. He's not going to pick up fouls at the top of the key, but he'll pick them up at the block.
Wouldn't mind getting Kevin Garnett in some foul trouble, would you?
No, not at all.
Bibby. Nice play by Mike Bibby. Will it go? No, but Cherokee's there for the follow and the flush.
Yeah, great take, though, by Bibby, showing Stephon Marbury that he can get by him if he wants. Real good follow by Cherokee Parks.
Veteran Sam Mitchell will check in. So will Doug West. He'll get a nice round of applause in a second. Bryant Reeves will check in also for the Grizzlies. Garnett threw it to his assistant coaching staff on the other side. And here comes Doug West.
Now you see here, Bibby gets by Stephon, and even though he puts up a tough shot, because somebody had to come and help, that leaves Cherokee open for the rebound. Doug West getting a real warm ovation here, Rod, from the hometown fans. They really liked him when he played here.
Garnett sitting down now. Bibby has maybe a little room to operate now with Sharif. Abdur-Rahim can't make it go. Hits the top of the score clock. Doug West, second rounder, 38th overall back in 1989, one of the original T-Wolves. Wasn't too happy last year when the trade was made to Vancouver. He went through some alcohol rehabilitation. Never played a lick for the Grizzlies last year, but has come in with some really good attitude since training camp, and he is a great defender. And look at the matchup. Peeler on West. And Peeler takes it to Doug West, but Bryant Reeves can't bring it down, and there is a whistle. It's a Minnesota foul. That's Joe Smith.
Yeah, good box out there by Country. Joe Smith came over his back. Rod, Doug West, what he has done is really brought aggressiveness to defense when he steps on the floor, and he's also brought excellent leadership. You can see there with when he was with the Timberwolves, all-time leading scorer here. And like I said earlier, a lot of people ask about Doug West and how he's doing since we've been here in Minnesota.
He said that he would like to see these rims at the Target Center that take them back to GM Place. He's used to these rims here.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, he was the first guy in the building today. Say hi to all the equipment guys, security guys. A lot of good friends here when he played.
Big Country at the line trying to get himself still into shape, and it's coming day by day, game by game, but he still has not seen a start this season.
Country Rod had a great game against the Celtics in that triple overtime. 19 points was a real factor in they breaking that press down low.
Bibby saved the over and back violation. Shot clock winding down as Peeler watches West. Reeves wants the ball. Bill Curley on him into the game. Double team comes back to Bibby. Wide open shot. Can't knock it down, but Cherokee again. And Cherokee Parks is pumped up coming back to Minnesota.
Cherokee's been fighting the flu, but I tell you, did he go nice and hard to the basket. The Grizzlies, Rod, have to exploit country on Bill Curley. Bill Curley's a 6'9" post player, and they got to go at him.
Oh, my. Stephon Marbury had the bucket on the reverse, but couldn't get it in. Bibby over to Sharif. That's how you do it.
That's right. And there's a new look for the Grizzlies in '99 that we've never seen in the past. The fast break with Mike Bibby to Sharif.
Vancouver on a 6-0 run, 12-12. Taking it to the T-Wolves now. Smith wide open look. Knocks it down.
Joe Smith, we call him a tweener, Rod. Post player, 3-man. He can do them both. And I tell you, he's tough to guard.
Marbury and Bibby. This will be a good matchup over the next couple of years, too. And another whistle, and it's an illegal defense violation. That's the first. Next one will be a free throw.
You know, Sharif's going to enjoy this for the next 10 years or so. He gets himself out in the wing to run, and he knows he's going to get the basketball. Good low, no-look pass there. Sharif going hard to the glass.
We've seen that a lot already in his young career. Sharif losing it, though. Sam Mitchell knocked it out of bounds. The veteran Sam Mitchell. 7th year with Minnesota, 10 years in the league. Bibby wanted the shot. West over to Cherokee. Blocked there by Smith. Got up on Cherokee Parks, and Anthony Peeler pushing it now. Peeler, nice pass inside Joe Smith. That's why they call him the Beast.
The Grizzlies at time this year, Rod, haven't done a very good job of getting back, and that was a good case there. They did a good job of stopping the ball, but the first thing you need to do is protect the basket. Nobody did that.
4-point lead again, restored. West into big country. Like to get him on track. Triple team there at a travel.
I don't know if he really did there. I thought he had, you know, he stumbled a little bit, but one thing country's going to have to do is the Timberwolves know that's a bad matchup for them, so they're going to double him right away. I'd like to see him kick that ball quick and, you know, trust the fact he's going to get back to him.
The Wolves have a league low 11.6 turnovers per game so far. They already have 5 tonight versus Vancouver's 3 turnovers. Mitchell posting up Bibby, and Mike Bibby with the foul.
Yeah, they got a tough matchup there on the switch. Bibby ended up with Sam Mitchell, and that's a matchup they don't want. Rod, Minnesota has held teams 3 times this year to under 75 points, so they can play some defense. The Grizzlies are going to have to really execute offensively.
Marbury to Smith again. Mitchell. Sharif watching him. Shot clock coming down. Smith again. He's been unbelievable to start this game. And a hard foul there by former Wolf, Doug West.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup for Cherokee Parks on Joe Smith. But you know, that's exactly right. Doug West is telling Joe Smith right now, Rod, hey, that's our goal and we're going to protect it. And that's exactly what we see. You know, it's a hard foul, but he's going to make him go to the line and make 2 points. He's not trying to hurt him. He's just saying, hey, this is our basket. You're going to bring it to the basket. You got to be ready for some contact.
And because it's a hard foul, he shoots the technical.
I don't mind that play, especially on the road. You have to assert the fact that your basket is going to be protected out there. You don't want these teams just going to the basket, making layups all game.
Doug West is a hard player. He is a guy who on a team will not give up no matter if you're up by 30 or down by 30.
That's exactly right.
Marbury to Curley. That's all net. So the Wolves on a run again.
I saw Bill Curley at Boston College. Played there. He played as a center there, and he's added that to his game.
Cherokee, leading scorer so far for the Grizzlies in the game. Sharif only has 2 points. Parks again with the rebound. Cherokee on a mission tonight. Doug West off the glass, and Doug West with his first basket back in the Target Center.
Good job by Parks there, keeping the ball alive.
Marbury back to Peeler for 3.
Yeah, we all remember that when he was with Vancouver. AP can knock that shot down. That's a problem when you got a guard like Stephon Marbury who can beat you off the dribble and get that extra help. He'll find the open man.
He may be the best point guard in the game right now, and you won't get too many arguments from some people. You can make your case for a lot of others, but he has all the skills. And a foul on Bryant Reeves. When we come back, Big Country will go to the line and try to bust back into this lead. The Grizzlies were back in it, but now they trail by 9. Cherokee Parks owning the board so far with 4 rebounds. Doug West with his first basket since the trade in the target center against his old teammates. Stephon Marbury juking, dribbling, doing it all, and then the former Grizzly.
Yeah, what happened there is the Grizzlies ended up switching. West ended up in Marbury, and Bibby left Peeler all alone. Doug West, if he stays there with Peeler, he knows to stay there. But Mike Bibby just kind of left him, and AP knocked it down.
Flip Saunders, so far this season, Grizzlies or the T-Wolves pretty successful. Flip Saunders hasn't had to go too deep into his bench.
No, that's right, and that's a real concern on the other side of it, Rod. Come playoff time, you know, are they deep enough to make it through the playoffs, through the Lakers,
especially this sprint with 50 games. Game story tonight. Might fatigue be a factor for the Grizzlies. Been a tough week for them. Marquee matchups, of course, with Abdur-Rahim and Garnett and Marbury and Bibby, and I guess you can also say Peeler and West.
Here's another guy, Dewan Wheat, who's got something to prove. Waived by Minnesota early this season.
Dewan Wheat, former T-Wolf too. Joe Smith turned on the hook shot, couldn't make it go. And here comes Dewan Wheat, the former Wolf, who's played very well as a backup so far this season to Mike Bibby. Wheat 5 for 10 from three-point land already this season. Reeves inside, and that's a foul on Bill Curley, looks like, or will it be? No, it isn't. It's a foul on Bryant Reeves.
Yeah, pretty soft call on Country. I thought he did a pretty good job of sealing in there. And Mike Mathis called a pretty soft one on Country.
Well, Big Country 1 for 4 from the line, only 1 point so far. They're going to have to somehow find a way to get Sharif on track too. He only has 2 points in this first quarter. 90 seconds to go in it. 23-15. Marbury tried to find Smith, couldn't. Here comes Doug West. West to the basket, and there's a hard foul the other way. Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, great job by Country down the defensive end. Stephon reverse dribble. Country came. They threw the dish out, and good fast break by Doug.
And Sam Mitchell, a veteran on veteran. Let's join Norma Wick again.
Thanks, Rod. I spoke to strength and conditioning coach Rob Hackett this afternoon about the fatigue factor, and he said that he felt this team was in better shape physically and mentally than it ever was, and more able to handle the overtime periods that we've seen, mostly because of their mental positiveness right now. He says this team is a team that feels it can win, it stays up, it stays positive, it wants to compete, and that's helping them physically. He says they've never worked harder, and they're all in better shape too. Back to you, Rod.
Well, that's certainly, you can see it in their eyes the last week and a half. The Grizzlies feel they can win game in and game out. They didn't do that in the first 2 games of the season. As Smith, it finally falls. But, boy, what a week it's been, and this is an unbelievable pace to this season so far. The schedule is so grueling.
The only good thing about it is you don't have time to think about the game you just played. That's maybe a good thing sometimes.
Well, Grant Hill says, that, you know what, hey, at least we don't have to practice. I'd rather play. Mack can't make the 3 go.
Good look there by Country, though. First time he's turned and faced and thrown the big pass to the weak side.
25-16, Marbury. Nice feed there again to Joe Smith. Curley can't get it. Cherokee brings it down. That is rebound number 5 for Cherokee Parks. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Shot clock difference about 13 seconds. Big Country wants it. Kicks it back out to Mack. In the corners, Wheat. Dewan Wheat now 6 of 11 so far this season for 3.
I tell you, the Grizzlies really concerned about their point guard position at the start of the year, but Dewan Wheat has come in, and I tell you, there's been no talk about the point guard problems anymore.
And a foul on Wheat at the other side. 10.3 seconds left.
Real interesting thing the Grizzlies are doing. I like what Brian Hill's doing here. They're double teaming Stephon Marbury before he gets the chance to come off that pick and roll. Real interesting strategy. I'm sure Stephon has not seen that yet this year, and he's thrown a couple turnovers because of it.
Marbury watched by Wheat again, but you know Stephon loves this time of the game. And clock's coming down. Curley, buzzer beater. Yes! He didn't call a glass, did he?
You know, you want to run and hide as an offensive player when you throw in a bank from the top of the key, but that hurts. I tell you, a lot of momentum there.
So Bill Curley takes one off the window at the buzzer. 27-19 T-Wolves. Joe Smith with 12. Tonight, the Grizzlies only have 19 in this first quarter in Minnesota. DeJuan Wheat has 3 of them. The Grizzlies off to a slow start against the Timberwolves. Bryant Big Country Reeves kicking the ball back out there on the double team. But a look at the shooting percentages, Alcris Manson, and there's the story right there. The Grizzlies can't find the basket.
Yeah, they got some real, Sharif took some real tough shots at the start there out of the offense. Kevin Garnett getting up and intimidating some of the shots. Minnesota Timberwolves on fire right now, 63%. Grizzlies hang in there right now, only down 8 points. You know, Minnesota was going to cool off a little bit, but that last replay we saw there, Rod, Country doing a really nice job of recognizing the double team. He's got Sam Mack and DeJuan Wheat, 2 guys who can shoot the 3 toed up. And that's what Country has to do to help this team. When he comes in the basketball game with Sharif out, he has to control the offense. And he does that by recognizing the double teams and the low post block.
Look who's back in the game, Kevin Garnett. We talk about Sharif only with 2 points in the first quarter. Garnett scoreless from the field. 2 fouls.
Yeah,
I don't think that's right, though, is it?
No, I think
that isn't right. That is not right.
No,
computer's wrong. He's got 4 points.
He's got a dunk. I definitely remember.
This computer was wrong. But Garnett getting the 2 personal fouls and sitting down. So now we'll have to see what happens with him. Garnett back in the game.
Well, what they've done, Rod, is they've got him checking Doug West now, and they've taken him off Sharif. And here's a real mismatch that the Grizzlies have to exploit.
Abdur-Rahim back to Country. Can't make the baseline jumper go. Knocked out of bounds, and it will be.
They're going to talk about this one. That should, yeah, they're going to have a little conversation here. Flip Saunders is about to lose his mind, and so is Brian Hill. So somebody's not going to be happy here.
One coach is definitely going to not be very pleased with the outcome of this.
Yeah, you know what? When they have the conversations, 99% of the time, they give it to the home team.
Brian Hill is the loser in this one.
Tell you, Rod, if we were any closer to the court here, we'd get called for illegal defense.
We are very close. You're right on top of it. They might be passing to you soon. Marbury's shot doesn't go. Garnett just tips it right back in his hands. Back out to Marbury again. Stefan. Get another chance at it. Why not knock it down?
Yeah, Sharif's got to do a better job of boxing out Kevin Garnett. I tell you, if you don't put a body on that guy, he'll jump over everybody in this league.
Wheat. Fed it to no one.
Yeah, Grizzlies out of control right now. They got to get good possessions each time down the court. DeJuan Wheat's got to get him in an offense. Again, take the ball, Kevin Garnett. Instead of avoiding him, he's got 2 fouls. One more foul, he'd have to come out for the half.
Big win Wednesday night for the Wolves over Houston. Marbury, 40 points. Sharif with the steal. Off to Wheat. Sam Mack is open. Back to the basket. Easy lay-in for Sam Mack, and so the Grizzlies are still down by 8.
That's a good point, Rod. Here's a team that's beat Houston, the Lakers, and the San Antonio Spurs here at this court. So this Minnesota Timberwolves team is for real. Don't make any mistake about it.
And you know this guy's the real deal, Stefan Marbury.
That's his game. That's exactly what he wants to do. You know, great players, you got to give something up, and with him, it's the jump shot. You can't let him get to the basket.
Abdur-Rahim double team underneath the Country.
Yeah, good pump fake by Country there, and a great look by Sharif, taking it at the big fella.
First field goal of the night for Big Country Reeves. 3 points for Bryant. And again, 8-point lead. Just over 10 to go before halftime. Marbury, Wheat in his face. Garnett wants it. Double team comes from Reeves and Abdur-Rahim. Malik Sealy's into the game, number 2 for the Wolves. Sam Mitchell stops and pops.
Good ball movement by the T-Wolves there, Rod. Actually, good defense by the Grizz, and T-Wolves just did an excellent job reversing the ball, finding the open shot.
First basket of the game for Mitchell. West looking for Reeves. Here comes the double team again, back out to Wheat. DeJuan Wheat, nice fake, and he splashes
Great
it.
Ball fake, Rod, by DeJuan Wheat there. Again, good look by Country with the swing. Good execution that time by the Grizz.
Grizzlies need a couple of stops now. Marbury, pick and roll there, looking a little like Stockton and Malone. A lot of comparisons to Stockton and Malone with these two. So Sealy wide open off the front rim, but Garnett is there for the tip-in.
This is what Sharif needs to do to take himself to the next level. Down at the defensive end, he's got to become a stopper.
10-point advantage, Minnesota. Country trying to come across for the pass from Wheat. Gets it. Double team coming again. Back out to West. Shot clock's at 5. Sharif. Corner Mack. 3. Way off. Sharif, though, with the putback.
Good hustle by Sharif Abdur-Rahim there. Made a nice pass to Sam Mack. tell you, he's no dummy. Passes to Sam. What does he think? Go to the basket because that thing's going up.
Sharif is 2 for 7 from the field. 4 points so far. Hardly his 39 he had the other night, but he can get it going quickly. Flip Saunders, Wolves leading 35-27 on Sportsnet.
Now here's the key to Stephon Marbury's game. You got to keep him in front of you. You can't let him get to the goal. That's what Stephon Marbury wants to do. He wants to break you down and get to the basket. And if he's a good enough player that if he feels the help come, he'll dish off. But how about this first stat? There's only been 4 players in NBA history to score 40 or more points, have 10 or more turnovers, or sorry, 10 or more assists, and not have a turnover. Look at some of those names in front of Stephon Marbury. He did that against Houston on Wednesday night.
And he's sitting down now, so that's good news for the Grizzlies, certainly. Into the game is Bobby Jackson. Nugget. Garnett took it to the hole, and
there you go.
It's an offensive foul.
Yeah, great job by Country. Great job by Country stepping in. He's going to have to step out and take the charge, and he does just that. Look at one jump on the floor. There goes Country. Takes the charge outside the dotted line. And you got a little help from ref Mike Callahan there, and that's going to put Kevin Garnett on the floor. This is right now. This is prime time, Rod, for the Grizzlies. Right now, you got Stephon Marbury, Kevin Garnett out of the game. This is where Sharif and Country have to take over.
Mike Bibby working on Bobby Jackson. Jackson with the kick ball. .8:23 to go before halftime. Garnett, 3 personals, sitting down 2. So with Garnett and Marbury both out, might be prime time to unleash Sharif, and he takes it to the basket. Mitchell brings down the rebound.
I don't know how that's not a foul there. Brian Hill's just shaking his head.
Bobby Jackson with those long socks too. Sam Mack coming across, and Sam Mack is whistled for the foul on Joe Smith.
Yeah, what Sam Mack needs to do there, Rod, instead of jumping up and trying to get the basketball, just stand there and take the charge. Joe Smith is flying to the basket out of control. Good help, though. The idea is right, but he's got to take a look here. If he's just gets his body in the way and tries to take the charge, he's jumping up there, and you're not going to jump up over Joe Smith and get a ball when you're 6'4", or 6'5".
Joe Smith at the line, 5 of 7. 3 of 3 from the line, 5 of 7 from the field. He's the leading scorer in the game so far, 13, and he is a good pickup for the Timberwolves, particularly when they lost Tom Gugliotta, who was certainly an all-star player for Minnesota last season. Grizzlies now down by 10 as Bibby looking on Jackson.
Yeah, Rod, this is a team that doesn't go very deep. Bobby Jackson only getting about 9-10 minutes a game, so Mike Bibby may be able to exploit him.
Sharif waiting for the double before he kicks it out. West to Bibby. That is a 2-pointer for Mike Bibby.
Too bad there. Mike Bibby will learn where that 3-point line is in this league. A little different from that college line. Had a toe in the line. You really don't want to take that shot when that toe's in the line.
4 points. Joe Smith with a nice catch and another foul.
Good high-low game there by, sorry, Rod, good high-low game there by the Timberwolves. Bill Curley recognizing the overplay down low. You'll see it here when he gets the high post. Sharif working real hard on D, having to front Joe Smith. He's doing the right thing, but a real good pass there by Bill Curley. Tough play to defend.
And so Brian Reeves sitting down, Doug West sitting down, Tony Massenberg and Cherokee Parks back in the game. Bobby Jackson took the Minnesota Gophers to the NCAA Final Four a couple of years ago, so he loves playing here. Massenberg rips it down. Grizzlies need a run here. 37-29. Maybe looking for Sharif. The low blocks. Mitchell on him, and there's a foul on Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, Sam didn't like it, but Sam pushed him any harder. Sharif would have been about the 8th row. Sam Slayer, Sam. Take a look here, Sam. You got your hand in Sharif's back, and your knee and your hip. And 3 whistles went at the same time. So.
Not quite sure. Bibby, baseline. Back out with a bad toss, and Sam Mitchell gets it right back. Mitchell over top of Sharif, who pulled it down, altered his shot. Bibby and Massenberg. Mike Bibby pops. Sharif again, a rebound there. Abdur-Rahim to the hoop. Another lay-in for Sharif. He now has 8 points in the game.
Sharif was the guy who got the rebound at both ends of the floor that time. That's great hustle by Sharif.
Jackson underneath. Nice move by Bobby Jackson.
You know, Mike Bibby will learn as more years he's in this league that in this situation when the backup point guard comes in, you can't let him hurt you offensively.
Bibby waiting for the pick. Shot clock at 10. Right to the lane. Mike Bibby and a swat from Joe Smith, and Mitchell takes it coast to coast.
Again, there's another layup that the Grizzlies had a chance to foul on and make him go to the line, but instead just let the guy coast to coast. Sam Max got a clobber him on that.
41-31. Grizzlies need some stops and some of this, but it doesn't go. And the ball will go to Minnesota when we come back. We have a timeout on the floor. Joe Smith is 14. Cherokee is 6, but his Grizzlies trail by 10 in Minnesota. Worthy will be alongside us Tuesday, March 2nd. The much improved Sacramento Kings. Jason Williams and Mike Bibby back at it again. It's a 7 o'clock start at GM Place, Tuesday, March 2nd.
There we go with Sharif blocking down at one end, getting the ball, getting the outlet, and watch who gets the score down the other end. I mean, look at Sharif run right down the middle of the floor. I mean, that's a big guy. You run straight up the floor to the other basket. You never know where you're going to get. Good job here of gathering himself under control and taking it to the basket.
Sharif certainly has started to light it up of late.
Now, Mike Bibby will learn that guys in this league can get on you real quick. Good take there. Good job trying to. Now, Sam Mack right there, I'd like to see him take a good hard foul there and make the guy go to the basket. What that'll do, it'll take the crowd out of the game, stop the clock. When you're on the road playing against a real good team like this, Rod, what you want to try to do is make the game as boring as you can. Keep the crowd out of it. Try and sneak out of here
with
a
road basketball.
Exactly, and just try to make it dull, make it boring, and try and sneak out of here with a road win. And the Grizzlies will learn that. It's all part of the learning process this team's going through.
Little pressure on the inbound. Jackson and Bibby. Mitchell into Smith. Good start for Joe Smith. Fall away. Off the back metal. Malik Sealy spinning. Nice move by Malik Sealy to make that one drop. Malik Sealy, the former Clipper and Piston. He's had 5 double-digit games off the bench so far this season for Minnesota.
And Rod, he's a guy who's killed the Grizzlies over the last few years with the Clippers.
Massenberg. Underneath, Tony Massenberg with a nice reverse lay-in.
Everyone knows Tony Massenberg got up to that great start this season, hitting 13 shots in a row, setting a new club record. Then he went 13 for 43. But I tell you, Tony brings that hustle, those hustle points, you know, that you don't see in the stats for you, Rod, every night.
Smith again. Joe Smith now with 16 points, 6 of 9 from the field. Something we didn't see from him when he was a Golden State Warrior, that assertiveness, that aggressiveness. Didn't have it when he was in Philadelphia either, and now with the Timberwolves, he's certainly found a role with them. He's loving it. And another throwaway. Grizzlies not protecting the ball very well. Jackson to the hoop. Bobby Jackson opening the lead to 14. 4.5 to go here.
Yeah, Grizzlies need a timeout, Rod. There you go. That difference right now, Rod, Grizzlies not playing any defense whatsoever and turning the basketball over. Bad combo.
Well, I think we're getting an indication of why this Minnesota Timberwolves team is 9-0 over their last 9 games at home, stretching back to last season. They eat it up in front of their home crowd, and they're doing it again tonight. 47-33 in the second quarter.
Right there. Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll just say, go ahead, guys. Vancouver Grizzlies right now having a real tough time with the pick and roll. Now, there's different ways to play the pick and roll. You hold it right there, guys. The first thing you can do is hedge and stop the ball. Now, right here, Cherokee Parks is hedging, but he doesn't make Bobby Jackson pick up the basketball, or he doesn't play him at all, and then he's going to get a real easy pass to the opposite player. So what has to happen there is Cherokee has to step up and make that guy pick up the basketball.
Ball movement there. DeJuan Wheat doesn't make it go. It goes in fact over the back of the backboard.
You know, you got to really give this Minnesota Timberwolves team credit, Rod. Their bench has come in here and extended the lead with Kevin Garnett out of the basketball game.
And their bench really hasn't been much of a factor so far this season. And I mean,
no, you're
going to their 8th man, it can be, but after that, we're going about 9 deep tonight, and that will go out at a bit of a delay on it. But Sam Mitchell will go to the line and try to make it 3.
Yeah, Tim Donaghy's making that call from center, so we'll have to have a look here and see if he gets chopped. But again, I mean, you can't allow penetration. Sharif allowing his guy to get to the basket. That's the first mistake, and DeJuan Wheat having to come over, and a little bit of a phantom foul. But I tell you, when you reach in this league, the referees will give you that call, especially at home.
So they meet the 50-point mark at the 3:51 mark of the second quarter. The Grizzlies, Michael Smith in the game, need to get it going. Down 17. Wheat. Parks it.
Yeah, even though we hit that basket, Rod, right now, when you're down this many points, you got to establish an inside game.
And a foul on the floor, especially an inside game, like you mentioned, without G Money in the game.
Exactly. I mean, you have to go in there and take it at the big guys. You know, you got one guy in foul trouble. Let's take it at Joe Smith now and try and get him in foul trouble.
With such a lead built up to, maybe this is a time for Flip Saunders to get a little more work out of Bobby Jackson and Stephon Marbury, who has been very busy this week playing as well. He's played a lot of minutes.
Well, that's exactly right, Rod. And, you know, obviously Flip Sanders looking at this game, hoping, you know, they get a lead. So, I mean, they've been going with 8 guys all year. And that's been the knock on their team, is that come playoff time, they're just too tired to go anywhere in the playoffs, and they're not deep enough. So Flip needs to get a real good look at his bench.
Abdur-Rahim's taking it to the basket. Ball's up there, still got it. Sharif will go to the line, and Abdur-Rahim.
You know, that is just great individual effort by Sharif. I mean, there's 2 or 3 times he could have given up on that play, but he just stuck with it.
Watch this.
Yeah, got bumped once there. Look at him, up, down, chop there, and you know, has wits about him there to actually finish that.
That's why he making the big dollars, which will kick in next year. The big contract over $70 million, which so many of the class of '96 have signed. That maximum amount. Ball on the floor. And there's Marbury. We'll have to get it over the line. Wheat is right on him. Marbury, though, is one of those members of the class of '96 who has yet to sign a deal, and there is speculation he won't be playing in Minnesota next year.
Yeah, lots of rumors out there, Rod, with the Chicago Bulls leading it. Talking Stephon being the rebuilding of that franchise.
Would you want to go to Chicago? My goodness. Sam Mitchell.
For $70 million, I'd go to pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, that's
right?
true, but maybe that's exactly what Jerry Krause had in mind, but when he tried to gut that team as Marbury brings it down. Nice feed to Tom Hammonds. Hammonds to the basket, and the T-Wolves are really starting to run it up now.
Yeah, quick shot down on one end and not getting back down at the other. And this, you know, we got to tell like it is, Rod. This Grizzly team looks real tired.
Parks inside, and a foul, and it looks like it will be Hammonds whistled for it on Michael Smith. Grizzlies, who are coming off a double overtime win Tuesday in Los Angeles against the Clippers, put their record at 500, and then the triple overtime 3-hour and 49-minute game on Wednesday against Boston. Wheat to the basket, feeds it back out. Sharif, open look, can't make it go. There's Michael Smith, and we get a fresh 24. West takes it, can't make it go. Grizzlies shooting 40%. Marbury, Mitchell. Back out again. Under 2 minutes to go in a first half dominated completely by the men in white.
Yeah, running a clear out here for Stephon Marbury.
Oh, Stephon Marbury with the feed.
But I think he had all of his teammates dazzled there, and they were waiting for him to take it to the basket.
We were all watching how that one was going to end up.
Marbury will turn 22 years old tomorrow.
Yeah, I like this move by Brian Hill. He's got to establish some easy baskets, and you know, Country was doing a good job of recognizing the double team when he was in there. Establish that low post game. If they double, kick it out.
T-Wolves on a 19-6 run in the last 5 minutes, 56-37. Grizzlies need something positive to take with them into the locker room. Reeves turning and spinning, and that looks like the Bryant Reeves from last season.
Exactly, and we haven't seen that very often this year, the turnaround jumper. Country starts feeling that until you get that Sharif Country combo going that we saw so much last year.
Marbury almost unstoppable with the basketball. Stephon Marbury, does he draw the foul? He does, as a matter of fact, and Michael Smith nailed for the block.
A red idea by Michael Smith stepping in there a little late, that's all.
Halftime coming up. Norma Wick has a feature on Doug West, his return to Minnesota, and what he's had to go through over the last year. Sports Central will take over from there, tell you about what's going on in the rest of the NBA and the rest of sports tonight. We'll also have first half stats and all the highlights with our man Al at halftime.
Again, Rod, Grizzlies having a lot of trouble with the pick and roll. You know, and that's something you got to establish with your defensive philosophy, is how are you going to handle that, because every team in this league runs a pick and roll.
Marbury makes it go. Stephon Marbury not on pace for the night he had the other night against Houston. 7 points, but 6 assists, and certainly will be in double-double territory. Nice feed to Sharif underneath from DeJuan Wheat, and a foul. Joe Smith picking up his first personal of the night.
Yeah, good look by DeJuan Wheat. Coach Brian Hill giving DeJuan Wheat a lot of minutes tonight. I think recognizing the fact that Mike Bibby played a lifetime against Boston the other night.
Well, Mike Bibby's had to play a lot, period, with Lee Mayberry out with the injury, which is well documented, trying to get him back in the lineup. Lee talked to us before the game, says he's feeling better. He might be ready to go sooner than expected, but Troy Wenzel, the athletic therapist, also saying that, well, you don't want to rush him back into action. I'll tell you what, Brian Hill would like to see Lee Mayberry back in the Grizzlies uniform as soon as possible.
Yeah, Lee looked pretty good in warm-up. He's moving around pretty good. So Sharif missing 2 foul shots so far tonight. Both were a little flat, but it's unbelievable from the line this year. He's 20th in the league at 87%, but there's no one even close to the number of attempts he's made. He's had 68 attempts already this year.
Only made 2 trips to the line, though. So far, only 3 attempts at the line. Marbury. Oh, it's Stephon Marbury.
Yeah, and that's why he's such a great player, Rod, because you get down in that stance trying to stop his penetration, he can pop the jumper on you.
His coach says it's simple formula. When he's hot, we win games. Doug West to the basket, and a foul. He'll go to the line. Malik Sealy.
Yeah, there's a great curl by Doug West off the baseline screen. Now take a look here. We call this a curl when you run off that down screen. Instead of just popping to the wing for the jump shot, Doug West rolls to the basket and takes it hard. Now the curl is very difficult to defend. And you feel that defender trailing you like that. You just run a little loop to the inside. DeJuan Wheat, nice job finding the ball.
Doug West doesn't make that one go. He, of course, had those 2 free throws against Dallas on our national game last Sunday that sealed the game for the Grizzlies. In the late going, Marbury feeling it.
Yeah, Stephon Marbury this week in the papers was saying that, you know, I got to be a lot more selfish when I play basketball. He's been having a tough start to the year, but boy, was he selfish against Houston.
Well, yeah,
40.
You know, his coach even
kind of
said,
selfish alike.
he said, listen, you know, Stephon, be a little more selfish, be a little more aggressive. It's funny, Anthony Peeler helped him out too. He said, you know, you got to quit being professional. You got to be more of a thug.
Yeah, that's all we need. You got to play that kind of, you got to be nasty out there. That's what when Stephon Marbury's at his best, he's what they call nasty. He'll take it on you and he'll knock the jumper on you.
Grizzlies trying to get last shot. DeJuan Wheat, ill-timed to Anthony Peeler with Marbury. Stephon again to the basket, and Marbury with 13 points now. Last shot to the Grizzlies. West to Wheat, who just threw it away and then throws it back in the net. 63-44. Well, I wouldn't bet against this guy. Marbury. Oh. Well, he is human as he kisses the floor.
Boy, Brian Hill is hot, Rod. Let me tell you, there's going to be a little bit of a chat in the old room at halftime.
63-44 Minnesota. Marbury has 13, Joe Smith 16. Leading scorer for the Raptors is Sharif Abdur-Rahim with 9. A feature on Doug West when we come back on CTV Sportsnet at the half. The Grizzlies are going to need a lot of work to get anywhere near OT in Minnesota tonight. Rod Black, Alcris Manson, and now nothing seems to be going right for the Grizzlies. They had a little run in the first quarter, but I don't know if it's fatigue. To me, it looks like it just might be that inside game working so well for Minnesota.
Well, it is, and there's one other thing too, Rod. The Grizzlies are getting killed in transition right now. They're giving up way too many baskets, and because of that, Minnesota's shooting 64% right now. It's quick shots right here by Cherokee getting a shot block, but right now, look how many Grizzlies are down court, and look at how they're getting back, just jogging, and you got to protect your basket first and then stop the ball. Doug West says, I got ball, but no one's got the basket. And they went the whole length of the court from the baseline. There's no reason they should give up layups like that.
Joe Smith with 16 points. The T-Wolves have had 5 blocked shots. The Grizzlies have had none.
Yeah, we just saw 2 of them, and there's another example where you're not getting back on defense off a turnover and giving up another dunk is what you're giving up there.
Kevin Garnett only 6 points, but they really haven't needed him tonight because Marbury's picking up where he left off against Houston. Shooting percentage obviously down for Vancouver. Minnesota's shooting percentage way up, and free throws only 3 of 10 for Vancouver.
Yeah, you know what that shows you, Rod? That shows a tired team. When you got a team that's leading the league in free throw percentage and they're only 3 for 10, shows you're tired.
Well, the Grizzlies needed to re-energize at halftime. Maybe they can get it going in this second half. Leading scorers so far, Joe Smith, Stephon Marbury, 13 points for Marbury, also with 6 assists. And for the Grizzlies, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, who has moved into 6th place in NBA scoring, he has 9 points, but the rest of the team needing to pick up some of the slack. 63-44. We'll be back with second half action after this. Minnesota 63, Vancouver 44. Grizzlies need a stronger second half, and I'll tell you one thing, the best news of all in this game, from our standpoint of our broadcast team, we have to thank Rosa.
That was Rosa. Yeah.
Rosa with the cookies.
Man, are they good. We got to come to Minnesota more often, I tell you. We got the crowd behind us, want to take us out and talk strategy after the game.
We should have sent some of these to the locker room.
This is a fun town.
Don't get any chocolate chips on my notes, though, all right? No, thank you.
Chris got to come out right now and take the easy baskets, right?
Abdur-Rahim baseline, and a block by Garnett. 6th block of the night for the Wolves. Mack, if he can knock some of those down, they could get them back in a hurry, but that was a long way out, and Anthony Peeler running the floor. Starting 5s back on the floor for both teams. Bibby stealing there. Needed some of that in the first half. Like Bibby will set it up into Mack. Sam Mack on Peeler. Mack over top, and Sam Mack rips the cords there. That was a rainbow.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's a rainbow, that thing. Chris got to dig in right here, you know. Very easy for Minnesota to come up flat, think this game's over, but they can put a couple quick hoops together and make it run.
Marbury fouled by Bibby. Nice fake by Stephon Marbury, who during the summer, he had a very hard summer. He said he wanted to work hard, make sure that he was in the best shape of his life. Would play from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Lifted weights from 4 to 6. Had dinner as Joe Smith has net the other way. 1 to 4 he played. 4 to 6 did weights. At dinner, and then at night, 600 jump shots every day this summer.
Yeah, that's what separates the superstars from your average players.
Parks. Garnett, easy rebound for him.
Yeah, Grizz are not going to get back in the game taking outside jumpers.
6 rebounds for the kid. Marbury inside in a foul.
Long time coming, that call.
Here it is again. It looks like Massenberg.
Yeah, the referee thought it was all ball, and then he kind of changed his mind, but I think he was right the first time. But again, there's one of the best players in the league getting to the basket.
Stephon Marbury and Kevin Garnett. It might be the best 1-2 combination behind Stockton and Malone in the NBA right now. Bibby pushing to Abdur-Rahim, takes it to Smith, and it could be a charge.
That's a block.
That's a block.
Yeah, that's a good call. Now, right now, the Grizz got to get in that little melee down there and pick their franchise up.
Sharif looked like he was holding his knee.
Yeah, you can't be letting a guy who's that important to your team get all tangled up with somebody. Yeah, that's an undercut. That's a dangerous move. Somebody's got to step right in there and say, you can't be doing that to our, to the franchise and our team. But again, good job of Sharif getting out wide, and a great job of Mike Bibby pushing the basketball. I like the way he took that to the basket there.
Sharif getting to the line more than anyone else in the NBA.
Yeah, that.
But tonight his shots flat.
Yeah, shots flat, and what's that? 0 for 4 from the line.
1 for 4, 3 of 11 for the team. The Grizzlies will not be first in the NBA after tonight. They are first in the NBA with free throw percentage. Some pressure now. Garnett comes to pick the ball up. Bibby on him, and Grizzlies will go back to their defensive set. Marbury again. Garnett on the pick and roll. Nice feed inside. Kevin Garnett glass.
Boy, that's just two guys who have played a lot of basketball together. I can't believe that pass made it through. Grizzlies got to do a better job of coming over from weak side to help on that roll pass.
Abdur-Rahim. Oh, nice move and a foul. And are they calling continuation?
Yeah, they did.
It was in the air. Take a look at the athleticism of Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
You know, yeah, that's just a little thing there you may not even notice, but it's the pump fake. The pump fake gets Joe Smith way up in the air. Sharif takes it to the basket. When you're down 18 points, you can't just exchange baskets. You got to get down and get some stops. I like the full court pressure look by Brian Hill.
Lead 17. Grizzlies will need a lot more of that. Peeler into the corner. Marbury stopping again. It's Stephon Marbury picking up where he left off in the first half. 7 of 11 from the field, 8 assists, 15 points. Coming off a 40-point performance Wednesday against the Rockets, a career high. Sharif wants the ball. You know what? Give it to him. Triple team. Bibby, two-pointer. Bibby again, inside to Cherokee. Nice pass by Mike Bibby. Cherokee off the glass, but too many big bodies under there.
Yeah, he got fouled, though. Good job of getting Garnett off his feet. Brian Hill wanted to call there. Still talking to the ref about it.
He's still talking. Dean Garrett back out to Anthony Peeler. Peeler, about 10 feet, gets a little bounce off the glass, off the rim, and Cherokee goes to pick the ball up, and Grizzlies look a little distressed. Discombobulated tonight.
Yeah, Sam Mack's got to do a better job of playing D on Anthony Peeler. AP's having his way with him right now.
Mike Bibby doesn't have a stern look on his face too often. He went by us just now. Didn't look too happy. Massenberg takes it strong to the basket. They need more of that.
Both teams, Rod, taking the night off on defense so far. I tell you, it's just exchanging baskets.
The Matador defense going so far.
It's summer playground basketball right now. The Grizzlies got to dig in here and try and get a few stops.
Sharif on Garnett, fronting him. Garnett says, "Give it to me." Kevin Garnett inside. Bibby brings it down. Good defense there from the Grizzlies on the big guy, the 7-footer, former high school star. Sharif. One-on-one with Smith again, and a foul, Joe Smith. And that is his third personal. So both he and Kevin Garnett have 3 personal fouls.
Yeah, great job by Reef there. I mean, you know a guy's good when you know he's going to take you to the basket and he still beats you.
This might be the best formula of all. Just keep taking it to Garnett and Smith and try to get them out of the game.
Sharif inbounding it from someone's lap. I can't believe how close the seats are here, Rod. It's incredible.
Bibby to the basket. Parks, and another foul, and it looks like they got Joe Smith again, and that's number 4, and Flip Saunders is going to have to sit him down.
Hey, Grizzlies gain a little momentum here. Good stop last time down the floor of Sharif. Playing the good D coming down this end. Getting a couple good takes and getting some fouls on Joe Smith.
Well, what they might be able to do too, if they can get a bit of a run going, is get the crowd out of it, because the crowd really got into the game in the second quarter. This is a tremendous crowd here in Minnesota. Great basketball fans.
Yeah, we got a full house here tonight, and that shows what kind of crowd Minnesota draws.
Sharif drops it in again, and Abdur-Rahim in the second half starting to get his team back in it. 15 points for Sharif, 6 of 17 from the field, 7.5 left in the third quarter, 71-54, and a whistle.
Well, right now we've got one ref blowing the whistle every single time down the floor. And that'll be Tim Donaghy, I guess, trying to break in a new whistle.
Yeah. Sharif now with his third personal, and it's a difficult defensive assignment for Sharif on G-Money.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a little talk here from Tim. You know, what happens there is He calls 2 quick fouls, and Joe Smith realizes he's set one of their best players down, comes down here, finds the Grizzlies' best player, and gives him a foul.
You don't think that happens?
That's exactly how it works in this league.
Marbury to Garnett again. Oh my, Kevin Garnett.
You know, what do you do when a 7-footer puts the ball on the floor like that? I mean, so
floats.
Yeah, so smooth and just shoots the jumper right over you. Look at him down here playing the D on the perimeter too.
He is a superstar, that's for sure. Sharif calling for it. Double team coming. Parks underneath. Nice play. Nice block, but a goaltend.
Good job.
Garrett.
Yeah, sorry, Rod. Good job by the Grizzlies establishing the post play. Sharif, excellent job of recognizing the double team. And what the Grizzlies haven't been doing is sending that high post cutter to the basket. They did that time and got the easy look for Country on the, for Cherokee on the goaltend.
Mitchell launching. Volleyball game underneath. Garnett. And we have a jump ball.
Yeah, Sharif, again, just didn't put the body on him. And Kevin Garnett's going to win all those tips.
73-56. Grizzlies trying to fight back. T-Wolves lead 73-56. The VP of basketball operations in Minnesota happens to be one of the top 50 players in the NBA. He's with Norma Wick.
Kevin, I know that after Tom Gugliotta left, there was concern that the party was breaking up here, but you're off to your best start in franchise history. Obviously, you haven't really missed a beat.
Well, you know, we tried signing Tommy. We'd hoped he would. I think Tommy's a tremendous player in person, and we put a lot of energy into trying to get him signed, but we had done a lot of other stuff going on. And then when it became increasingly clear that he might not be back, we made some other moves, got Joe Smith in here. And so, you know, we've been able to continue to grow.
Joe Smith looking pretty good tonight. Obviously, he's been able to be a real asset to this club.
Yeah, he is. He's a tremendous young man, too. I mean, really like Joe as a person and as a player. And he's going to get better and better. He's just a young man. I think in our league sometimes, and people in my position, all positions, give up on these kids way too early. You can't judge Mike Bibby on his performance tonight or this month or next. You got to judge him on what he's going to be.
Doug West said he found it very difficult to come back here tonight as an original T-Wolf. He felt a little betrayed. Was it difficult to part with him?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we like Doug, and I mean, that's what took so long to make the trade. He really wasn't playing that well. I thought maybe he was getting a little too complacent here, and we didn't want to move Doug at all. I mean, Doug had been here from the beginning, and he really got some tough times, and things were starting to smooth out. But yeah, we really liked Anthony Peeler. I always have, and I'm just excited to get Anthony. And Anthony's worked out tremendously well for us.
One last question. I know after the big game against Houston, I think it was Stephon who was comparing himself and Kevin Garnett to Stockton and Malone. I guess that would be your fondest desire, that the duo would last as long as those two.
Yeah, you hope to keep them together that long. You know, we're working on trying to get Steph signed. Hopefully we will. Those two guys have the potential and the ability, if they stay together, to be phenomenal. You know, they're 21 and 22, and you throw Joe Smith in there at 22. Our future's pretty bright if we keep everybody here.
Your thoughts on the likelihood of accomplishing that?
Well, we're working on it. You know, in our business, it's never done until it's done, and hopefully we will, and that our energies are directed towards that right now.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Back to you, Rod.
All right, thank you, Norma and Kevin McHale. Is it just coincidence that the Timberwolves have really taken off as a franchise since the former Boston Celtic has been part of it?
Well, he's obviously done a very good job here of getting good young players here. You know, they took a big gamble on Kevin Garnett out of high school. You know, and that took a lot of jam at that time to do something like that. You know, he's kind of the first guy after the obvious early four that came out of high school. And
he opened the gates, though, didn't he, for the others?
Kobe and all these other guys who have come out, and you know, Kevin McHale's got to have a tough job of keeping Stephen Marbury here, because there's not a team in the league doesn't want that guy. And
you know, it's funny how timing is everything in life. And as we take a look at McHale, 3 NBA championships with the Celtics, but Marbury and the rest of the class of '96 and all of those afterward will never sign for the kind of money that Garnett signed. And some people felt that arguably the NBA lockout was all about what that Kevin Garnett contract brought to the game.
Well, exactly. I mean, $126 million over, what is it, 6 years, and those kind of contracts just can't be signed anymore.
Marbury now is 17. Parks turning. Nice play by Cherokee, but too strong on the shot.
Yeah, we got Country again standing at center as Parks takes that shot. So again, not the kind of shot you're looking for.
Could be the biggest lead of the game. Sharif pulling it down. Abdur-Rahim trying to dribble through everybody. Won't work. Here comes Marbury. Look out.
It's kind of interesting what they're doing right now, Rod. They're almost playing Stephon Marbury at the 2 spot, having Anthony Peeler up top and really trying to exploit Mike Bibby off the curls down low.
It's really interesting. They have a 21-point lead and they have pressure on the Grizzlies. Park spinning. Cherokee again. That's short this time, and Cherokee can't get his shot inside. And the Grizzlies sputtering, and a foul. Bibby.
Yeah, right now the Grizzlies, Country's on the floor, and he hasn't even seen a touch the last 3 times down. You know, when he's in the basketball game, you get a lot out of their offense when he sees the ball early and can get the ball out of the double team. And again, you take a quick shot, and this is what happens. It leads to a fast break down the other end. You know, you can't get back on defense when guys are taking quick shots like that.
Bibby's numbers tonight, 3 personal fouls already, 4 points, 5 assists, and Peeler misses that. Doug West will come in, DeJuan Wheat will come in, and Felipe Lopez maybe trying to inject some energy into this game.
Oh, good move by Brian Hill here. I mean, you're down 21. You got another game in Toronto on Sunday. Rosters are trimmed down to 12 now.
Which happened today. Grizzlies yesterday releasing Jason Sasser and Dan Muller. And a foul. And that is Marbury, and he picks up his 4th.
That was interesting, Rod. That left the Grizzlies with 13 players, and J.R. Henderson being one of them. And I was down the weight room yesterday, and J.R. came down, and boy, if he didn't get tendonitis on the knee yesterday somehow.
He was trying to keep up with you on the treadmill, I think. Just that quick, those
the old injury list injuries.
Roster list. Yeah. It happens. It's almost a curse.
Yeah. Troy Wenzel came up and we pick an injury. I thought it was going to be the standard groin pull, but
it happens throughout the NBA, of course. And today the team's allowed to cut down to 12, and some teams feeling that, you know, because of this shortened season, they should have extended this potentially. There's one of the greatest ball players in this area, Kirby Puckett, on the right. Loved watching him play. Peeler inside to Garnett. Double team there. Grizzlies need some D and some O. Bryant Reeves brings it down after Cherokee knocked it away from the rim. DeJuan Wheat will run the floor. 3 guards on the floor for the Grizzlies, trying to get some legs into the game. And there's Marbury right to Wheat. Tried to find Peeler. Cherokee, wide open shot, takes it, drops it. So Cherokee Parks now with 12 points in the game.
Yeah, Cherokee's done a nice job tonight, Rod, coming back to his old team, and it's played very, very aggressively.
Lead is 18. Grizzlies would love to get this thing down to 10 or even lower before the 4th quarter. Garnett in and out. Garrett underneath. Good block by Big Country. And a jump ball.
I think they're going to give him a foul.
No, they are going to give him a foul. Kevin Garnett, it looks like. Or is it Garrett?
I think they're going to give it to Garrett, knowing that Kevin Garnett's already got 3. Yeah, Country didn't really block out here, but good enough to use his size. Get a good block, good hustle play here, and then does a good job of protecting the basketball. And yeah, Kevin could have got one there too. So, you know, Country can knock these 2 down, Rod, within 16. You know, try and trim it down to 12 or 13 by the quarter, and you never know. But
chip away, yeah, road game.
Real big 3 minutes of this basketball game right now.
Well, again, Brian Hill has some legs in the game as Bill Curley comes back in. With Felipe, DeJuan Wheat, Doug West helping the defensive side. So smaller lineup in for Vancouver, and maybe this will be able to narrow some of this large advantage that Stephon Marbury and the Minnesota Timberwolves have built up. Playing very well at home. Winners of 9 straight here at the Target Center dating back to last season. Marbury looked for the roll with Mitchell inside over Big Country. And Bryant Reeves with another rebound. So Big Country with 6 boards now, 7 points for him.
Great job by Country on weak side there. Need a real good possession this time down the floor, Rod.
Wheat stopping, maybe rushed that shot, maybe should have set that up, but Reeves got the rebound. So Doug West calling for Big Country to take the post. Yeah, and it's a foul, and it might be offense. No, it's not. It's Bill Curley. Bill Curley nailed for the foul, so Grizzlies not out of it by any stretch, but they'll need some more of what they've seen in the last couple of minutes. Right in the Air Canada Centre, almost as nice as GM Place. That will come Sunday at noon on CTV. The Grizzlies and Raptors, that's noon Pacific. The Canadian cousins on court at ACC.
And we talked about them getting a good shot that possession. They didn't really get one here at Duane Wade. But this is what Doug West brings to the Vancouver Grizzlies. Ball's going to come out to it, and he knows they need to establish Country inside. He grabs it, positions Country in the low post block, and they get a quick, easy foul inside. That little play right there didn't seem like much, but that's what he brings to this basketball team.
Isn't it amazing what experience and just playing more basketball, being around for so much longer, you just know how to almost slow the game down in your mind.
Exactly, and he knew, being a veteran player, that he knows a 16-point lead, you get that thing around 10 is very important. So every possession in the last 2.5 minutes here this quarter is crucial to try to chip away at that lead.
Country at the line again, and tonight from the charity stripe, he is 4 of 7. 8 points, 7 rebounds. And some pressure from the Grizzlies. Weed on Marbury. West has Mitchell. And Michael Smith into the game on Garnett. West following Marbury. Mitchell left wide open for the shot. In and out. Garnett flying in. Jams it home.
And that's what not defending the pick and roll properly gives you. Brian Hill actually wanted offensive goaltending there. She wants something. He's still all over the referee.
Garnett now double-double. Again, 11 and 12. 11 rebounds and 12 points. Smith. Shot clock at 7. Wide opens Lopez underneath. And a foul. He'll go to the line.
You know, Felipe Lopez can put the ball in the hoop. Here's a guy who finished 6th all-time at St. John's. Or sorry, not St. John's, in the entire Big East of scoring.
Felipe Lopez, the first and only Dominican player to be in the National Basketball Association.
Good back cut there, takes it hard to the basket. You know, he's not afraid to take that thing to the hole. You take a look down, Kevin Garnett down at the other end. I think Brian Hill wanted a loose ball foul, maybe over the back, but you know, here he comes totally unguarded. You know, there's nothing there. I mean, that's just a great athletic play.
Felipe converted the 3-point play, and it's 81-68. So a couple of more stops, Al, and Grizzlies might find themselves right in it in the 4th.
Yeah, you got to give the Grizzlies some credit here. You know, it's very easy to pack it in when they're down 20, but they're hanging tough. Tough shot there, good D. That's what the animal Michael Smith can bring for you. That's what you got to do with Kevin Garnett when he gets in the low post. You got to bang him and bang him and bang him, and don't let him get to the basket.
And knocked out of bounds by Duane Wade. But credit also that small lineup, and the experience of Doug West with a couple of guys who don't have much experience in the NBA in the backcourt, Duane Wade and Felipe Lopez. Turnovers so far, 11-11 for both teams. Malik Sealy wanted the ball cutting across, but Marbury takes it himself, gives it back to Sealy. Interesting play. Sealy lost it, and a block. And the foul.
Good effort. Sorry, Rod. Good effort by Country coming over to the help. Again, the curl hurt the Grizzlies that time, but Country. A little too much body there that time.
Stephon Marbury with 19 points and 9 assists, 1 assist away from a double-double. Will check out. Bobby Jackson will come into the game. Malik Sealy.
You know, the difference you see, Rod, between the Vancouver Grizzlies being as young and just not used to playing together as much as a team like this Minnesota team is when they run the pick and roll, the Grizzlies, they have one option. Minnesota that time, Malik Sealy was coming off about the 3rd or 4th option there, and that's where the Grizzlies will get to, hopefully by midway, halfway through this year. That not only will they get first options, but it's a 2nd, 3rd, and even 4th option they'll be able to execute down the stretch.
Bobby Jackson will pick up Duane Wheat. Wheat waits for Country. There's the feed in. Low post. Garnett's there on the double team, though. Big Country. Good play to kick it back out. Doug West corner to Felipe. That's long. Michael Smith brings it back out. So good rebounding here by the Grizzlies. Under a minute in this 3rd quarter. 83-68. Country calling for it again. Brian Reeves is short this time, but the tip in underneath from the animal, Michael Smith.
Michael Smith started the last 3 basketball games and led the team in rebounding every game. I mean, he just gets bizarre statistics when he plays, like 10 rebounds and 2 points, and that's what he brings, just crashes the boards.
Grizzlies should get last shot of the quarter. 30 seconds to go. Jackson cutting around, and Bobby Jackson with a beautiful arcing shot, and falling to the court makes it go. Wheat double teamed in the corner. Kevin Garnett, not only a great offensive player, as he ever worked hard. Jackson back to Seeley, off the rim. Mitchell, and a hard foul there. And again, Doug West says, hey, I'm not giving you any easy baskets in my old home court.
Yeah, smart play by Doug West. But boy, the Grizzlies just have to take care of that basketball. You know, you get a good shot there and hopefully hit it, and you go into 13, but you turn it over, and now you go down, you know, possibly 17 into the fourth quarter. And again, young team, they will learn from those mistakes.
Sam Mitchell, who is second in the all-time list of leading Wolves scorers, trying to catch up with the guy who fouled him, Doug West.
You know what makes the Timberwolves so tough, Rod, is when they run those double teams. Guess who they've been running at the last 2 times? Kevin Garnett. I mean, you're down there post and you're trying to kick it out in the double team, and you got a 7-foot guy with arms down to his ankles coming at you. And look at him up here on the press. I mean, unbelievable athlete. Unbelievable.
Better get it over. Lopez does. DeWheat, good play by DeWan Wheat. Garnett throws it up. No. DeWan Wheat made a good play to keep it from going back over, but the T-Wolves get the last shot again. It's a 17-point game after 3 quarters. Grizzlies having a tough time in Minnesota after working overtime twice this week. We'll be back on Sportsnet. Have been having a tough time tonight with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, but a nice tip in by Michael Smith.
Yeah, that's what he brings, Rod. Good hustle points from the foul line.
A look at the numbers in the third quarter, where the Grizzlies were trying to get back in it with a couple of runs, went to a smaller lineup. Shooting is coming up, but the Timberwolves are staying steady.
Yeah, they've given up, 87 points after 3 quarters, and you're gonna have a tough time. The Grizzlies are gonna have a tough time scoring enough points to beat a team that's on that kind of clip.
The T-Wolves, popular team naturally in the Minnesota area.
It's
There's
the
a popular guy, the Body.
It's the Body.
Can we call him? I think you have to call him Sir Body now.
Jesse the Body.
The governor, Jesse Ventura.
Come on, Rod, you're a wrestling fan. You know the Body.
I actually was a color commentator for me one time at a hockey game of all things in Winnipeg, and all he wanted the guys to do was fight all night. Come on, what are they going to fight? Garnett! Oh boy! Look at the ferociousness in Kevin Garnett's eyes. This guy just does not stop.
He totally electrifies the crowd. Flips on. Does a great job of diagramming a play. Trying to seal the deal early in the fourth.
With Marbury down, resting for some minutes, and it's an offensive foul. Mike Bibby and Sharif Abdur-Rahim will come back into the game. Bibby had 3 fouls, so did Sharif. But this guy, Kevin Garnett,
and
is
again,
something else.
2 things on the lob play. You got to get pressure on the ball to take away the lob, and you got to get a body on the guy as he goes to the hoop. And neither happened there. We'll take a look at it again. There goes the lob, and well, tough to stop when it's that far above the rim.
Jackson to Garnett again. Oh, just like butter. Like butter. 16 for Garnett, 8 of 16 from the field with 11 rebounds. And again, pressure from the Timberwolves. So much for this shortened season. This team goes 1 speed. 21-point advantage. Michael Smith wanted the ball. Bibby calls for it. Shot clock's coming to 10. West inside. Doug West to the rack.
Yeah, Doug's getting very comfortable taking the ball to the basket now. I've seen that a few times in the last couple of games. Rod, the thing right now, the difference between Sharif Abdur-Rahim and Kevin Garnett, you want to talk about 2 superstars, is Kevin Garnett will take that shot. He's not afraid to make that his first shot.
Oh, and Sam Mitchell drains one from the corner. 93-72.
Now, when Sharif gets comfortable knocking down that shot when he stands and catches it, then he'll become unstoppable.
Michael Smith off to West, and the foul on Bill Curley. Grizzlies have had trouble, though, this season keeping the points off the board, and same old story tonight. Obviously, the numbers are skewed, mind you, because they have had 2 overtime games. In fact, multiple overtime games this week.
You know, the defense, I think, has been not bad so far this year. They've worked really hard at it, and they definitely have cut their points per game down.
Sharif knocks it down.
Just like I said.
He's listening to you.
I tell you, when Sharif gets real comfortable catching and popping that thing, and then they start closing on him, and we all know what he can do putting it on the floor.
The matchup we talked about at the beginning of the game, Abdur-Rahim has 17, Garnett has 16, and the feed to Mitchell. And he hits the bullseye. Sam Mitchell off the bench is 17. So what a factor he's been.
Well, exactly, Rod. And the Grizzlies have done last few times have actually done a pretty good job. Handled the pick and roll, actually handled the pick first, handled the roll, and gave up what they have to give up. But Sam Mitchell's knocking them down.
Kevin Garnett picked up the foul as we go to break. 95-74. T-Wolves way out in front. Yes. My goodness. It's crunch time. T-Wolves mascot in the mosh pit here at Target Center. They did that earlier with Al Chris Manson. He just made it back, as a matter of fact, to our desk.
That was fun.
You wanted a piece. You want a piece of that Jesse the Body Ventura.
I had a little talk to Jesse, and I asked him how he liked basketball, and he says, you know, I'm a big fan, but if they put ropes and turnbuckles in each corner, it'd be a lot more interesting.
There he is again. You know, now, so now I think that more wrestlers in political office, huh? What do you think?
Look at the neck on that.
Stone Cold Steve Austin down the road, The Undertaker in one state, Bret the Hitman Hart for Prime Minister.
We got lots of weird things going on. Mike Mathis just came over, the referee, and tried to have a bite of my cookie, and gave him a tea.
Exactly. Bibby. Soft one from 15. Grizzlies shooting tonight just 45%, but it's the inside game of the T-Wolves that is absolutely hurting them. In a foul, it's either Reeves or Sharif, and looks like they gave it to Abdur-Rahim. That is number 4 for Sharif.
Again, one thing the Grizzlies are learning, Rod, is that, you know, they've never had a point guard who likes to get inside like Mike Bibby does, and he's, you know, they're not adjusting to when he does that, getting back in transition and protecting the basket.
You know, you talk about Marbury and Garnett, the comparison to Stockton and Malone, and we're only going to have a couple of more years of Stockton and Malone, and maybe we could see Marbury and Garnett, if they stay together, being that new dynamic duo here. But Bibby and Abdur-Rahim's a pretty good dynamic duo in his own down the road.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to see the Grizzlies try a little bit more is the pick and roll with Sharif. They tend to put him on weak side, you know, hoping he'll get the ball in reversal, which isn't a bad thing, but every now and then, you know, pop the pick and roll with Sharif, because he, you know, he wants to work on that outside jump shot.
Abdur-Rahim on the catch. Nice play, but just too strong with it. Ball's out of bounds. Big country there. Ooh, there's a big bodies down below.
Yeah, the big fella hitting the hardwood door. I like that.
With Michael Smith. And you have to like the fact that they're still hanging in there. Not giving up, at least. 96-74. The lead's a big one, but we still have a lot of time. And again, if you can get a strong run going here, with Marbury down, might be able to chip into it. Mitchell, though, says, forget about that.
Well, Sam, let's talk about Sam Mitchell. Here's a guy who averages 9 a game, and what's that, 19? I mean, he's been sitting out there stroking that all night.
7 of 13 from the field. Mitchell and the rest of the T-Wolves bench, we talked about them not really going that deep down their bench, but tonight they have Sharif and Bill Curley.
Wow, that Sharif tried to jam that, and Bill Curley came over and smacked him in the finger, and good strong take by Sharif there.
Curley, number 4 for him, so 3 Timberwolves with 4 fouls. Garnett, Joe Smith, and Curley. Brian Reeves has 4 fouls. DeJuan Wheat 4 fouls, and so does Sharif. Abdur-Rahim with 4. Sharif only 3 of 6 from the line tonight.
You know, Rod, we've talked a lot this year about the Grizzlies and how young they are. Mike Bibby would just be a junior in college this year. Yeah. Sharif, people forget, would be a senior this year in college. You know, and we all know Grizzlies are going to have nights like they're having tonight. But the main thing they have to do, which they didn't do the pass, is play right through,
and get some positives,
exactly, and learn. They just need to learn to play together, and they got to try to come out and do it for 48 minutes, regardless of the score.
And let's be honest, the season is only 2 and 3 weeks old. Oh, and Smith with 21 now. The season, normally they would have only played half the amount of games they have, so they're still trying to get to know each other, all of the teams in the NBA, so it's going to take a while. Marbury, what a feed, but right into the hands of Bibby. Pete Chilcutt will come into the game shortly, as will Sam Mack. Abdur-Rahim calling for it again. Double team comes and thrown away. Joe Smith, and a foul by West. He said, "You're not going anywhere."
Yeah, Sharif did the one thing you don't want to do when you're making a pass, and that's leave your feet. So he kind of jumped, and the Timberwolves shot the gap there. And one thing that happens when you jump, Rod, is you always come down.
Yeah.
And when you jump to make a pass, you got to get rid of it before your feet come down, or it's travel, obviously. And Sharif got himself a little hung up there that time.
Some of them stay up there a little longer than others, though. Marbury back in the game again with 19 points and 10 assists. Smith, what a game he's had. Left-hand hook doesn't go.
I've been really impressed, Rod, with the way Minnesota has shot the ball from the perimeter tonight. I mean, to me, that's really been the difference.
Country going to Curley. Right up on him. Again, those shots just aren't falling for Bryant Reeves early this season. Marbury had Curley on the wing, took it himself. Stephon Marbury really lighting it up. 21 points now.
Yeah, Mike Bibby. I think of all the Grizzlies right now, Mike Bibby is the guy who really looks tired of all of them. And if you let Stephon Marbury come down and just dribble you to the foul line, you're going to be in for a long night.
Well, with the lead at 26, Brian Hill may start to bring somebody in from the bench and maybe rest Bibby and the rest for Sunday's game in Toronto. Sam Mack with the long one.
Now let's watch the pick and roll here, see if they go to it.
Sealy doesn't go, knocked away. Flip Saunders is going to clear his bench. His bench has done a good job tonight for him. Abdur-Rahim spinning again. Back out to Chilcutt. Sam Mack again. I even think if Sam Mack did what he did last Sunday, it would be a tough one for the Grizzlies to get back in this one. Marbury, nice move. The scoop doesn't go. Mack with the steal. Sam Mack stops again and will go to the line.
A lot of tired bodies in this Vancouver team right now, Rod.
Bobby Jackson and the T-Wolves opening up a big lead, 102-81. 6 minutes left at the Target Center.
Stephon's older brother, you're visiting from Brooklyn, and Stephon's having himself quite a season to date.
Well, he's playing a great game, keeping everybody involved, which is important for a point guard to do, and try to keep the team winning.
I'm not going to ask, well, I should ask about the influence. You yourself were a guard with Texas A&M. In fact, you led the Southwest Conference then in scoring, so obviously we know where Steph gets his basketball influence from.
Well, ever since he's been a baby, he's been wanting to play basketball. My entire family played basketball. Started my brother Eric Marbury played at the University of Georgia with Dominique Wilkins, and that's one of his big goals, to play in the NBA.
Stephon recently said that he was going to be more selfish and start getting some points for himself. And you said that he's worked very, very hard in the offseason as well, and obviously that's showing.
Well, I can't really say him being selfish, because ever since he's been a kid, he's been a leader and a winner, and he's always got everybody involved. That's a part of his game, getting everybody involved, distributing the ball to other people, and trying to make people better.
Stephon's going to be 22 on Saturday. What are you going to get him for his birthday?
Well, it's kind of hard to buy a millionaire something for his birthday, but I'm going to buy him something real nice.
All right, thanks, Don. Back to you, Rod.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you, Norma, and Don Marbury. I think he got what he wanted tonight. I don't think we're going to see Stephon Marbury back in the game. 21 points, 10 assists. He had 40 the other night. It's amazing. Marbury drafted number 4 in '96 behind Iverson, Camby, and Abdur-Rahim. And he was drafted by Milwaukee, of course. And it's funny how traded for Ray Allen, their worlds have collided, because the movie that was made, He Got Game, starring Ray Allen, basically about Stephon Marbury.
Exactly.
Who wanted to be in the movie, but he said he didn't want to shoot the movie because he wanted to keep working out. And there's Chris Carr in the corner. And they are relentless, this Wolf pack.
You know, and this is, we got to tell it like it is, Rod. This is really abnormal for Minnesota. They haven't been a very good shooting team all year, but I tell you, tonight, they've stroked it from the outside.
They have. 105-82. Under 5 to go. Again, Grizzlies trying to get something positive. Lopez and Wheaton will come back into the game.
Nice play.
Three-pointer by Mack.
Sorry, Rod. Nice play by Sharif there. Got doubled the first time, kicked it, got it back, got doubled again, still found the open man.
Sam Mack shooting 7 of 12 from the field, so the hot hand continues. 17 points, but maybe too little too late. Bobby Jackson from the elbow. In and out, Big Country pulls down another board. That is number 9 for Brian Reeves. 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Abdur-Rahim calling for it again. Sharif with the flush.
Great pass. You know, that Sharif ends up looking real good on that play because Mike Bibby really led him well. He saw the overplay from the baseline side and threw it to the middle of the court. Good seal there.
Near his season average, coming up to it anyway. Sharif is 21 points, 9 rebounds for Sharif. Just over 4 to go. Bobby Jackson spots Joe Smith on the pick and roll. Pete Chilcutt brings it down. Hard to believe that Chili, as they call him,
Chili's been
chilly. Ofer from the arc, and he's usually a pretty reliable three-pointsman for the Grizzlies. So I think Brian Hill would like to get him out there and get the stroke back.
Yeah, exactly. But he's done a great job on the boards for him this year. You know, that shot will come back. He's too good of a shooter for it not to.
Grizzlies needed a lot more shots tonight. Laborious week for the Vancouver Grizzlies. A couple of thrillers out west with the Clippers, and in Vancouver with Boston. Felipe Lopez into the game as they finally get a chance to sit Mike Bibby down. Bibby has ran out of steam.
Got some Dominicans in the crowd.
There we go.
Yeah, Mike Bibby hit a lot of minutes in the last week or so. Good show tonight.
Brian Reeves and Tom Hammonds. And there that shot goes.
Good move by Country there. Got the shot off before the double team came. Hit the good 15-foot hook.
16-point lead. 3:44 to go. Chris Carr off to Jackson. Seeley coming in, slashing inside. Double team there. Grizzlies almost got it. Hammonds lost it. Chilcutt underneath. Fresh 24. Smith wide open look. But off the front iron. Seeley shooting drill here. Doesn't go for any of the T-Wolves. No fouls there either as Mack brings it back up court. Chilcutt, can he get a three? There it is.
There you go, Chili. I tell you, Minnesota Flip Saunders right now is saying to his coaching staff, everybody in the gym except me thinks this game's over. So he took a timeout right there. Grizzlies hit that three.
You know, it's the NBA, and you never, ever know. 105-92, 3:13 left. He cleared his bench, and maybe, who knows? There's still some gas left in that Grizzly tank.
Grizzlies on a 10-0 run right now, and I mean, Sam Mack can score 13 points in
a hurry.
And real quick. You see Sam Mack here. Good job there by Carr, I think it was, stopping penetration, but that's a big shot for Pete Chilcutt. When you're a three-point shooter and it's not falling, you know, once you feel that first one, boy, it's like, okay, give me the ball, here we go.
He's got to get that confidence back. There have been a lot of games in Vancouver and throughout the NBA. Pete Chilcutt has been relied upon or has come in late in the game when they need a three-pointer, and quite often he's delivered.
Now, the big question mark, Rod, for the Vancouver Grizzlies, I think still this year is who's going to be the guy who comes in for Sharif to give him that 10-15-minute break right now.
The guy was Jason Sasser, who they had to release.
Exactly, and right now they've decided to go small. In other words, Sam Mack and Doug West, but I just think that's too small of a lineup. And, you know, I'd like to see Pete Chilcutt get the chance. He's more of a four-man, but he can play that three spot because he can knock down the outside jumper. And the thing he brings to the Vancouver Grizzlies is rebounding. I mean, he leads the team in rebounds per minute. You know, he's not playing a lot, but when he's in there, he can clean the glass. And, you know, Flip Saunders is not happy. He wanted his bench to come and put this thing away, so now he's had to come back with Stefan, Marbury, and Garnett. And coaches hate doing that, Rod. They hate it.
Hard to believe. I think Marbury and Garnett were about another 10 seconds away from the ice packs, and now they're back in the game.
Yeah. You know, as a coach, you hate it when you know, when you're sitting on the bench in the NBA and it's a 20-point game. That's your time. Yeah. That's when you got to come in and you want to earn some time. I mean, right now those guys are planted deep on the bench, and you know that's where they're going to stay.
Football coaches usually throw the headset off, but Flip Saunders is still up, and Garnett says, "Okay, enough of this, Grizzlies. 3 minutes to go." 107-92. Can they continue the run, though? It's a 10-2 run. A couple of three-pointsmen on the floor with Chilcutt and Mack. Sam toes the line, takes the 2 instead, and drops it. Sam Mack now with 19 points.
Boy, that stroke looks awful good. That elbow's right point of the basket. When Sam gets towed up, he can shoot with anybody in this league.
In the zone. Marbury might go baseline here. Instead takes the pick and gives it off to Carr. Chris Carr baseline. Underneath reverse doesn't go, and a foul. And it looks like it's big country, so Brian Reeves, that will be number 5.
Yeah, the Vancouver Grizzlies have allowed Minnesota to get to the basket an awful lot of times tonight, Rod. You know, you need somebody to step in with your body and stop penetration.
Actually, Felipe Lopez got the foul. It's his second.
But that's just, you know, that's a product of a team running an offense and breaking you down. Again, third option there. Came off the pick and roll. Stefan did, looking for the jumper, wasn't there. Looking for the roll for Kevin Garnett. Chilcutt did a great job of stopping that. Just a, you know, a team that, you know, you can't call them veterans. I mean, they're 21, 22, 23 out there, but they've been playing together for a while.
Lead is 14, 2.5 to go. Grizzlies need a gaggle of threes here. Mack wanted the ball, got the ball, fired the ball, and too long on that one. Carr pushing. This team doesn't stop the T-Wolves. Marbury wants to set it up and run some clock. Here comes Carr. Garnett's open underneath. Shot clock at 6. Stolen by DeJuan Wheat. Numbers with the Grizzlies. Wheat on Marbury, and it won't go, but he'll go to the line.
Too bad. Great hesitation move there by DeJuan Wheat on Marbury. If you can get past Stefan Marbury, you know he made a pretty good move. He also made a great play down the defensive end, getting in there for the pick.
DeJuan Wheat, who spent last season on the Timberwolves roster.
There's the pick right there. Great job. And watch this hesitation move. I mean, he's going to stand Stefan Marbury straight up right there.
There are 2 guys out there in that backcourt for the Grizzlies who have some quicks defensively. Felipe Lopez and DeJuan Wheat. They get a little more experience, particularly Felipe. Could be a great option for Brian Hill. 21 and 10 for Marbury. 18, 11, and 7 assists. Kevin Garnett, 3 assists away from a triple-double. Marbury from 16 feet. One of the rare misses tonight with a loose ball foul.
Good job by Country, feeling the pressure over the back and ripping that rebound down. And that'll be 5 on Joe Smith. And you know, Flip Saunders isn't going to like that foul either. I mean, stops the clock, sends the Grizzlies to the line. And you know, Brian Hill, you got a minute 40, you're down 13. You got Sharif on the bench, and you bring him back.
Grizzlies will charter out tonight, head to Toronto. They'll play the Raptors, who won tonight. They ended a 5-game losing streak, beat Milwaukee on Sunday on our national telecast on CTV. That's a noon start in Vancouver. They christened the new Air Canada Center.
Rod, they tell me you were the first guy allowed to shoot baskets in there. Is that true?
I made the first miss, the first brick. There's a miss for Reeves. Kevin McHale, who, you know, it's kind of funny. McHale and Flip Saunders go back a long way to the University of Minnesota, where Flip was a senior and Kevin McHale was a freshman, and Reeves airmails that one. And that is about it for the Grizzlies tonight.
Well, I have never seen Country do that. I mean, he might be the best shooting center from the foul line in the league. If he's not, he's one of the top 5. And
look down at his finger there. I don't know if it
Yeah, when you shoot an air ball from the foul line, you look at your hands,
I look at everything.
you look at the ball, you look at your shoes, you know, you do everything to try to make it look like it wasn't you that did it.
I usually look at the person standing under the basket. Smith, Seeley.
Yeah, referees here calling the clock should have reset. It did hit the rim, and
It's really academic at this point. 108-95. Brian Hill's still up though.
yeah, this is a simple call. I mean, the shot went up and it nicked the rim. The clock should have reset. It didn't. The referee stopped the clock. He wants to reset it, and that's the right call. And Brian Hill doesn't think so, but
What about this Timberwolves team though? Last year was their first winning record in franchise history since they came into the NBA. 45-37. They took Seattle to the limit in that great 5-game playoff series, which they lost. The West is so tough. Anybody from the West this year could emerge there.
the playoffs are going to be unbelievable in the West. I mean, it's going to be the team who's hitting the outside shots and the team who's executing the best down the stretch. And I'll tell you, Mike Mathis is going to bail somebody out here.
And another whistle.
I tell you, Rod, if this Minnesota team can knock the outside jumper down like they have tonight, they can go somewhere in the playoffs. And from what we've seen from their bench tonight, that's the question mark.
And I think Flip wants to try to get that bench some minutes. 108-95 now.
Whatever your project, Canadian Tire can help it take shape. Canadian Tire, still the right place to do it.
Marbury makes the second, so 23 points for Stephon Marbury off of his 40-point performance on Wednesday night. All Timberwolves tonight right from the start. 110-95 and a foul. But you talk about the Wolves in the West, everybody could talk about the Houstons, LA, the Lakers will be tough. If Rodman comes there, Dennis Rodman could be a disruption. Today, Dennis Rodman said that he has not signed anything with the Lakers yet. He's not sure where he'll play. He's even saying that he'd like to go to Miami, so that still is very much up in the air. I have a feeling he'll be in Laker gold. But any one of 8 to 9 teams now with Sacramento causing great waves.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that Sacramento team is playing like they don't have a care in the world. I mean, Jason Williams, they're just out there going up and down. I mean, if you ever get Chris Webber to enjoy himself and be happy, he looks like he's starting to feel that way in Sacramento. He didn't want to be there originally, but I tell you, the way he's looked the last couple of games, they're going to be tough.
Kings will be in GM Place on the 2nd. We'll have that game on Sportsnet. If you want to come out and watch a fun basketball team, that's one of the most fun teams to watch.
Yeah, Jason Williams is really unbelievable.
Just some playground hoop now. Jackson to Seeley, and another three-pointer. 113-96. Grizzlies will try to get a few more points anyway. Chilka gave it inside, and here come the Wolves again. Yep, you have to like this Wolf pack. Boy, can they play, especially on home court. Move their record to 6-2. 10 straight wins here in Minneapolis now for the Timberwolves.
Very important, Rod, that this Grizzly team stick together now. There's going to be more nights like this on the road. This is where you got to, Sharif, Country got to be the leaders. Doug West, keep together, stay positive, fight through a tough loss like this one.
And this is going to be part and parcel of this rather interesting season of so many games and so many nights. 21 points for Sharif to lead the Grizzlies tonight. 19 for Sam Mack. Mike Bibby only with 4. But how about the T-Wolves? 23 for Stephon.